Hello, Hoosier fans, Hoosier haters, and everyone in between. This is the Crimson Coliseum podcast. And on today's episode, we're celebrating the Hoosiers' ass kicking of Purdue. Just winning the Old Oaken Bucket, first time in a few years, and just absolutely kicking ass. And with me is another trombone player. I'm getting all these trombone friends. I need to get some of the new people. You got to get some of the new people helping me out here. I have a junior trombone player from someone who is from definition of enemy territory in West Lafayette, Indiana. Mason, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Great coming off of this big win against Purdue. No, excited to be here.
So yeah, just for some groundskeep, I can't remember what the term is. It's one of those days. Um, I just finished Black Friday weekend, so if it feels like I'm tired, I very much am. I worked 20 hours in 3 days
Oh,
at
geez.
Puma, so it's it's been a little exhausting, but Purdue got the win there, so I didn't get to go. I would have loved to gone to the game, and my mom had tickets. I was planning on going to the game,
Ooh,
but work scheduled me for Black Friday weekend. I couldn't get out of it. If I could have gotten out of it, I would have left as soon as I got done work on Black Friday. I would have left, probably
yeah.
stayed with Jack, and
Mhm.
gone to the game and really experienced it. And also, I
Yeah.
think was this the first snow game we've had
Yeah, that's the
since
first
you've been
snow game
here?
I've had. No, it
It,
was snowing. I think it started let's see. It started a little bit before kickoff, like half an hour or so maybe. And then kept snowing into the second quarter a
yeah,
little bit before it
yeah.
stopped.
I it looked beautiful. The snow looked
Yeah,
gorgeous on the field. It looked great.
no, vibes were at an all-time high.
The lines were immaculate. I really think the
Yeah,
100 needs to invest in uniforms that are more adept for winter, like some winter style
yeah,
uniforms. Maybe have it be keep that black coloring, but well, that'd be too much like Ohio State. Maybe like have like
yeah.
maybe have like the red one, get like the red uniforms, have it be more padded, and get like a cream
Hmm.
colored set of uniforms for the early season,
Yeah.
or a cream or a white version,
Hmm.
and then for the drum major, have it be the reverse. So like he's red for most of the season, then when it gets colder, he gets to white.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because like those heavy jackets aren't the most fun to me. Like just
No.
you, you can't really keep your water power the
Yeah,
water pad, whatever we still call it.
yeah, the water bladders. And I
Water
always
bladders,
like
yeah.
when they get out those.
Yeah.
I like when they get out the winter coats. They're pretty warm, and I think they look kind of cool. But they are, the black is not really a school color, but especially for this
Yeah.
game, I thought watching the video back, the black against the white, just the contrast really popped. But
Yeah. I mean, to give respect to Purdue, because I remember seeing the Big Ten did a video of say one good thing about your opponent. Purdue knows how to get a good uniform.
hmm
Like the all whites on the snow, smart idea.
hmm yeah,
And the All American band, I have a lot of respect for the All American band, but that's as much flowers as I'm gonna give Purdue because this has been because of as much flowers that Signetti gave Purdue. So uh 66 to nothing. That's how we get here. But before we really get into it, I just watched back the your show, the That's What I Call 100.
yeah.
Sounded really good. Love the
Thank
trombones at Kokomo.
Yep, yep. Some glissando action.
Some glissando. You gotta love some glissandos. I mean, that's
Yep.
what the drum corps loves. That's the only reason why they put trombones in is for
Yeah.
glissandos.
Yep.
Uh, I might do an episode where just like with 100 people, it's like, what is your favorite drum corps moments?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But I think yeah, even flow sounded great.
Hmm.
What closer did you pick?
Um, my pick was initially I voted for even flow, and that was what got picked. Um, I think if I were to do it again, like if they had the vote again, I would have picked 9 to 5. I think that was just uh it was a more fun tune to play, and then I think the drill was we had more time to put that show together initially, so we were able to do some
Yeah.
more
And it was
involved drill.
also yeah, it was also pretty close to this show, so it'll be
Yeah,
more in your
so
memory
you
banks.
know, not as many cobwebs to brush off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah, but I do like that idea for like if there's a lot of shows
hmm
doing a throwback to like what's been going on. Speaking of
yeah.
throwbacks, should it one thing, Dr. Galis, if you are watching this, which you may or may not be, bring back Hamilton. Bring back the Hamilton show. Bring it back. Or bring back the video game show, one of the two, and have an actual closer. One of the two. All right. With enough stalling, let's get into this game. So you want to talk about the Indiana stats?
Yeah. So for passing, Curtis Rourke coming in 23 to 31, 349 yards, 6 touchdown, which tied a program record with Bob Homschemeyer. May or may not be pronouncing that right,
I
at
think it's like
Nebraska.
Horn. Yeah, I think it's like Hornschmeyer, but yeah.
Hornschmeyer, yeah, at Nebraska in 1943, and then also Trey Robertson versus Purdue in 2013, which is impressive. Rushing, we got Justice Ellison, 11 carries, 63 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyson Lauren, 10 carries, 47 yards, 1 touchdown. Receiving, Elijah Surratt, 6 receptions, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Keyshawn Williams, 5 receptions, 56 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 carries, 27 yards. Omar Cooper Jr., 3 receptions, 44 yards, 1 touchdown. Miles Cross, 1 reception, 34 yards, 1 touchdown. Zach Horton, 3 receptions, 26 yards, 1 touchdown. Um, and then on defense, we got Aiden Fisher, 6 tackles, 4 solo, point 0.5 tackles for loss, uh, 1 PD.
Pass
Jalen
defense.
Walker, hmm?
Pass defense. Sorry, I didn't tell
Pass
you it
defense.
earlier, but yeah, just the PDs are pass defense.
Pass defense. Right.
Uh, just just so it doesn't like take too much of the document.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jalen Walker, 5 tackles, 3 solo, 4 tackle for loss, 1.5 sacks, 2 power defense, 1 interception, I'm not sure what FF is,
Force fumble.
forced fumble. Yeah. Terry Jones Jr., 4 tackles, 4 solo. James Carpenter, 2 tackles, 1 solo, point 0.5 tackles for loss, 1 carry, 18 yards. Mikel Camara, 2 tackles, 1 solo, point 0.5 tackles for loss, point 0.5 sacks. Uh, Elijah Hardy, 2 tackles, 1 solo, point 0.5 tackles for loss. Sorry, I forgot FF again.
I think it's Elijah Hardy. That
Wait,
yeah, it's force fumble. Then the FR is
first
fumble
fumble.
recovery.
Yeah. Larnell Carr Jr., 2 tackles, point 0.5 tackles for loss. One, what does that say?
Uh, yeah, fumble recovery.
Fumble recovery. Yeah. Bryson Bonds, 1 tackle, 1 interception. CJ West, 1 tackle, um, sorry, I'm forgetting
See,
immediately.
fumble recovery. Fumble
Fumble
recovery.
recovery, yeah, and
Yeah,
Jamari Sharp, 1 fumble recovery. Yeah, no, it's that
yeah. No, you're
stats
good. You're
clearly
fantastic.
my not my strong suit, but
Hey,
can
hey, it's about the chatting. It's not really much about
yeah,
the
yeah,
stats. The
yeah,
stats are there to just be helpful.
yeah.
I got I have the IU record book right here because I'm trying to find the thing, but that half a sack that Kamara had
hmm
um put him as over 10 sacks on the season. He didn't finish with the sack lead in the Big Ten. I think he just got beaten up by half a sack.
hmm
Um, but he got 10 sacks, which is, I believe, where is sacks in a season? Yes. So that is the sixth season in program history with 10 or more sacks. Most recently was Adewale Ogunlue in 2015. Well, not 2015, 1997.
hmm
That's like the lowest at 10. But the most recent it came in 2008 with Jamie Curlew with 10 and a half. But that
hmm
record is Greg Middleton with 1607.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Kamara had a fantastic season.
Yeah. No, really, he did.
Probably the only guy close to him in terms of stat wise was Abdul Carter of Penn State, who was probably one of the best edge rushers going into the season too.
Yeah.
So heading into Purdue stats, this is going to be a little bit easier. By a little
Yeah.
bit, I mean a lot. Uh, Passing wise, it was disgusting on both ends. Hudson Card, 6 of 13 for 35 yards and a pick, which uh, the Jalen Walker interception on Hudson Card was absolutely beautiful.
Mhm.
And then Ryan Brown, 3 of 18, 19 yards and interception. Same with Bryson. Both picks, I think, were one-handed interceptions, too.
Yeah.
Think about it
No,
now. Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't see that well from where we were, but
Yeah.
yeah, lots of turnovers.
Lots of turnovers. Lots of turnovers. Um, Devin Mockabee, 14 carries, 21 yards, and two fumbles, one of which was a bad handoff. I couldn't see. I didn't know that. Wasn't able to see the second one
Mhm.
because I was at a sports bar watching the game with a lot of other IU grads, including someone from the Red Steppers in 1999. So,
Oh, nice.
and we were playing bingo, and I got if the I got a wireless speaker, an IU
Oh
wireless
yeah.
speaker.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool.
The only thing that was missing, I could have gotten three bingos in one with an offsides penalty.
Okay, yeah.
It brought me back to trombone bingo, so that I was happy either way.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you guys play it this year? I want to
We
know. Did
did play it. Yeah.
Yes, trombone bingo.
I'm remembering. I think Carson got the first and maybe only
Yeah.
bingo. But
All right,
yeah.
that's cool. Um, get back on track. Receiving wise, Max Clare, 5 receptions, 36 yards, which considering he was their best receiver, really good. I
Mhm.
think also one of the other receivers had a fumble too.
Yep.
Defensively, Dylan Thieneman, 10 tackles, 7 solo, 1 pass defended. Yanni Karloftis, 7 tackles, 3 solo, half a tackle for loss, and half a sack. Who, if that name sounds familiar, his brother is, I believe, is on Kansas City for the
Yep.
Chiefs.
Yep. Yes. George Karlaftis.
Yeah, and then Cam Jones, speaking of Chiefs, was also at the game.
Yeah, he was. He threw some shirts. Or did
Yeah,
he did something.
yeah.
He was on the field.
Jeffrey Mba, 6 tackles, 3 solo, 1 tackle for loss. Kydron Jenkins, 5 tackles, 1 solo, half a tackle for loss, half a sack, and pass defended. And then Nyland Green, 2 tackles, 2 solo, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, and 1 pass defended. And it was just an utter domination from Indiana, both offensively and defensively. Like,
Mhm.
you just love to see it. Why don't you go
Yeah.
to the team stats real fast?
Yeah, so for team stats for Indiana, had 75 plays, 31 passing, 44 rushing, 400 or 586 yards, 349 passing, 237 rushing. On third down, got 5 out of 10, 50%. Fourth down, 1 of 1, 100%. Penalties, 5 to 45.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if. Okay, yeah. Dang. I was trying to see if like ESPN had a way to show like the total yards in each game easily, but I can't.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Okay.
because that's definitely up. It was definitely up there in terms of yards this season.
Yeah.
Um, but heading into Purdue stats, total plays was 45, 21 passing, 24 rushing, which I think is the biggest disparity since Western Illinois
Yeah.
play wise. 67 total yards, 54 passing, 15 rushing. 0 of
Yeah.
11 on third downs, and they got their only fourth down conversion.
Mhm.
They converted their only fourth down, and they were 5 for 38 on penalties. And
Yeah.
going into the pros and cons, nearly everything was a pro with this game.
Yeah.
It was just one of those games. First downs, 30-5. Time of
Yeah.
possession, 36-37 compared to 23-23. And
Yeah.
it just it definitely seemed like Indiana wanted to make a statement in this game, and
Yeah.
they absolutely did.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's just I don't know what else to say. Like this is just what it is.
Yeah,
Like it's just an absolute and utter uh ass kicking. Like
yeah. Well, and
um
even the time of possession, like as even lopsided as that was, any given possession by Indiana, those were a lot of them pretty quick possessions. A lot of long passes to really
yeah.
convert. Well, and a lot of touchdowns off of possessions off of interceptions of some sort, off of turnovers where we didn't have to get a whole lot of
Yeah.
yards.
Yeah, I forgot to mention this, but Elijah Surratt's receiving numbers, the 165 yards is the most in IU history in the bucket game,
Oh wow.
passing James Hardy's 151 yards in 2006.
Okay.
And I believe his 84-yard touchdown is a record too. I'm trying to
Okay.
look to see if the um see like if there is if like the IU Twitter posts something. I don't know if it did.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't seen
but like
it.
the 84-yard touchdown, I feel like that's a record.
Yeah.
But that drive was definitely the longest drive in IU history. 99 and a
Yeah.
half yards.
Yeah. Won it again, that was one of the I think it was what, four possessions on that possession?
Yeah. It
Four
was only
plays.
4 plays.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Um yeah, 99 yards, four plays.
Yeah.
I think a couple minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just absolutely um nuts and golly, I can't you'd think they'd have it in the record book somewhere where it had something in terms of like yards in a play. And maybe there is, but I can't find it right now.
Okay.
Um, but also Curtis Rourke's 6 touchdowns puts him 11th in IU history in touchdowns in a career, passing touchdowns in a career,
Wow.
which
Yeah.
says a lot.
Yeah.
But going back to it, we scored 66 points and allowed 67 yards, and Purdue has never been held under 100 yards this century.
Yeah. That's a crazy stat.
Yeah, and they only allowed, I think, 13 yards in the second half.
Yeah. No, I mean, the first half, it was, we had taken care of business, but second half, we really ran away with it.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, I'm sorry. A fake punt go up 38 is a statement,
yeah,
and that fake punt got me the bingo, by the way. That fake punt got me the bingo.
really.
Uh, and the fact that our defensive linemen had 3 less total rushing yards than Purdue starting running back and more rushing yards than the team due to sack yardage and
Yeah.
everything says something. It says how that game went.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm
and
choosing to believe that fake punt was specifically for your bingo.
it,
That's what
it
you
wasn't just mine; it was for 2 other people's bingo.
they were looking out for you.
Yeah, and then for my cons, Radicic had his first miss of the season, which I don't. He pulled it like I don't think it's too bad. It sucks that it was a 46 yarder. I think he could make
Yeah.
those, but it was one of those in the snow, and two he hit it a little weird, and the ball just caught the wind wrong and went sideways.
Yeah. I mean,
And
yeah.
we can't allow 2 sacks. I
Yeah.
know the first one was a safety blitz, so I don't put too much on that, but that second one, come on.
Yeah,
I've
no, I was kind of worried after those couple of sacks, especially coming off of our struggle
yeah.
against Michigan, where
And then
our
Ohio
quarterback
State.
getting hit a lot, and then obviously Ohio State too, just a lot of sacks, and but luckily we were able to kind of persevere through that and lock some things up.
Yeah. Why don't you go into your pros and cons real fast?
Yeah, so my one of my pros was just fitting for the end of a historic regular season for such a historic Oaken Bucket win. It's IU's biggest margin of victory in the series. And it's also Purdue's biggest loss in program history ever, which overtook a recent loss, 66 to 7 to Notre Dame from earlier this season, which overtook a loss to Auburn in the 2020, no, not 2020, 2018 Music City Bowl.
So you're
Um,
saying we're better than Notre Dame?
I mean, if the head-to-head or the comparison against Purdue is what makes it, then sure. Um, yeah, and then it's this game was the most lopsided victory for either team, both IU and Purdue, since the Oaken Bucket was established in 1925. If we'd gotten three more points, it would have been the most lopsided win for either team
In the
in series
series,
history since 1891.
which, considering what 3 points would have been, that would have been a very, very nice win.
That would. I was hoping to beat that 68-0 record, but we'll take a 66 point victory
Cincinnati had
any day.
some mercy, not a lot, but some.
Yeah. No, we're not doing a trick victory formation play.
Oh well.
Yeah. Uh, some other positives. Michigan beat Ohio State yesterday to making them third in the Big Ten, bumping us up to second, tied with Penn State. Um,
Which which is big for Cignetti's wallet because
yeah.
he now gets a $500,000 bonus for
Yep.
being second in the Big Ten
Yeah.
compared to a $250,000 bonus for being third.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, he's making the big
works.
bucks.
I mean, he still is, but yeah.
Yeah. Um, in other positives, IU moves up one spot in the AP poll. Um, you know, uh, I still think maybe we should be above SMU, but things will play
I
out
think we
how.
should be. I think we should be above a lot of teams, but we'll let it play out.
Yeah, back in the single digits at least.
Yeah,
And from an environment perspective, as far as playing environment, the game was a cold one, sub 30 degrees, and I kick off the stadium was still full. So I think that's a testament to, just what in 1 year we've built as far as
yeah.
for the program.
In years past, there probably would have just been the parents and the students, and that's it,
Yeah, no,
and the visiting Purdue band. But
yeah, no. Shout out to them for sticking it out too. That was a cold, cold, tough
yeah,
game.
well, yeah,
Um, for my cons, uh, I mean, there really weren't very many cons in this
yeah.
game. Uh, but well, and this isn't even really from this game. But Penn State beat Maryland, which means that Penn State and Oregon are pretty much those are going to be the teams in the Big Ten championship. Uh, I mean, Maryland beating Penn State was kind of a long shot. We were excited that first quarter they led by they got that first touchdown and then. Uh, but
Not
Penn
score
State ran
anything
away with
since.
it. Then,
Did not score anything since.
yeah,
Um, the players of the game, offensively, Curtis Rourke and Taven Jackson did come in the fourth quarter. He just didn't throw any passes. He was just running the football.
yeah,
Defensively, Jalen Walker had a great game. Back-to-back
yep.
games with interception. And then
Mhm.
special teams, Nicholas Radicic, 12 points, was 1 of 2 in his field goals, 9 of 9 on extra points, which he is 4 points short of getting to 100
Mhm.
this season, which for his first full season is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Uh, he finishes the regular season 9 of 10 on field goals, so 90% field goal percentage.
Mhm.
Um, and then a very nice 69 of 69 on extra points.
Yeah.
He finished 68 78 of 79 on field goals on kicking,
Yeah.
which you love to see. When special teams
Yeah.
isn't an issue, you love to see it.
Yep.
But heading into some CFP implications, we did not get as much as what I was hoping for.
Hmm.
Some of it could have happened. Georgia Tech kind of flundered, but
Ah,
it
tragic.
it, it is what it is. I'll blame the refs and we'll move on.
Hmm.
But Ohio State losing, LMAO, and
Yep. Yep.
Miami losing, also LMAO, uh,
Yeah.
basically locks Indiana in the college football playoff at this point. Because probably will be number 9 and in that 10 seed. And I think we're safely away from the bubble.
Uh-huh.
Um, and here's the teams that I think are confirmed in Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Penn State, Georgia, Indiana, and Ohio State.
Uh-huh.
Regardless of what happens in the title games, are in. ACC title game is SMU Clemson. Clemson is in the 20s, I think, in the AP poll. No, not their 20s. They're like
Yeah.
18th.
Well,
They're eight,
I
like
thought they were
they're
23.
no, they're eight. Syracuse, Illinois is 23, but different
Okay.
orange team. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of orange teams in that area, like Illinois, Clemson, um, also
Oh, I'm
Syracuse
looking
got
for it.
in.
Yeah. Syracuse, I think, is 23 unmoved
Yeah.
from last week.
Well, no,
Um,
they weren't even
as
ranked, so they're actually in.
oh, okay, yeah.
Um, but the winner of the ACC title game, which is SMU Clemson, I think Clemson should not have dropped as much as they did in the AP poll, just because that was a close loss to another ranked team.
Yeah.
As an SEC person would say, it's a good loss. Uh,
Quality loss.
quality losses here. Uh, the Mountain West Championship game, Boise State against number 19 UNLV is going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah.
I think the winner of that is in because the next team in the group of 5 is Army at
Okay.
24. It really depends on where they put an American team because Tulane lost. If Tulane would have won, then it would have been it would have been much more interesting.
Yeah.
So, and then the winner of the Big 12 championship, which is number 12 Arizona State against number 16 Iowa State, is in.
Yeah. Yep.
Same reasons.
Mhm.
If I'm an Iowa State or an Arizona State fan, I'm hoping for UNLV to win so that they can get the bye.
Yeah.
And probably if Arizona State wins, they don't get to go very far
Yeah.
for the quarterfinal because they'll be
Mhm.
going to the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
And then teams on the bubble, the loser of the ACC title game is probably going to be on the bubble there.
Yeah.
SMU definitely has a much better case if they lose than Clemson does, but you never know.
Hmm.
Well, if Clemson wins, that makes things interesting. That just makes things interesting. Then
Yeah.
Alabama, South Carolina, and Miami. I think Miami has a much better case than the other two teams ahead of them because they only have 2 losses instead of 3.
Yeah.
Just you could argue strength of schedule all you want. Don't lose to Oklahoma.
Yeah. No,
Don't lose to Oklahoma. Don't score 3 points against Oklahoma. Like
yeah.
Alabama's still gonna get in, and
I mean, I could see them putting Alabama in. I don't think they
nope.
should be. They've got that, Oklahoma. They, Vanderbilt's been okay this year, but that's still not a great
That's not a
loss.
good win. That's not a good loss. I
Yeah.
think their best loss is Tennessee. And yes, they beat
Yeah.
Georgia, but
Mhm.
at some point,
Yeah. No, a lot of craziness happening in the SEC, and Not so sure it's indicative of as indicative of a deep conference
Yeah.
as recent
And
proponent maybe
and
proclaim.
going with the other two championship games, in the SEC championship, we probably want Texas to win.
Hmm.
If Georgia loses the SEC championship game, and if they lose badly,
Yeah,
Indiana could hop them.
yeah.
So yeah, Georgia will probably be five. They lose against Texas, and they lose like they don't. It's not a good loss. It's not close. Then I could see
Hmm.
us hopping them
Yeah,
if they have the precedent that a loss against the number two team in the country at a home or
yeah.
neutral field. Well, no, it's a home game for Georgia. It is because it's in Atlanta.
Okay, yeah.
So if Texas beats Georgia, then they got to drop like five. Like, they'll be in, but they're gonna drop. They should drop five if they lose, even
Hmm.
if it's close or not. And then Penn State loses to Georgia badly. We could possibly hop them as well for the same reasons. This
Hmm.
is much more of a Penn State home game than it is an Oregon game because it's in Indianapolis. But
Yeah.
oh
Either way, that's still I mean, you're coming from opposite sides of the country, kind of right to sort of the
yeah,
middle. But yeah, closer, Penn State, same time zone at least.
yeah, yeah, same time zone. And like, there's a lot of Cali kids are probably from Pittsburgh, so in that Pittsburgh area. Oh, Aiden. Oh God, I just bit my mic. But yeah, that northeast area with a lot like I like to say Kelly kids are either Chicago or the original 13 colonies, one of the two.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
But yeah, this was just another ass kicking. That it just is what it is. Just for some future stuff, this week I'm gonna try to talk about Battle for Atlantis, which yeah,
a lot of people are worried. I'm not as worried as a lot of people are, I think.
it wasn't a great trip for the men's team. The women's team it was a pretty good trip, I would say.
Mhm. Yeah,
They know their issue, and if they figure out the issue, they're fine. It
yeah.
just they got to figure it out. And then I'll be doing power rankings. I think I'll be doing power rankings and predictions together because
Hmm.
it's just one game,
Yeah,
and that's like a minute episode if I do the one game. Uh,
yeah.
and then and honestly Wednesday will probably be reaction to the CFP, and then what
Yeah.
Indiana needs to do to get in the CFP, and
Mhm.
then Thursday will be that stuff, and then next week will be no, probably next Monday or Tuesday is going to be the reaction to the Big Ten season, all that stuff. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, share on all platforms. And I'm gonna ask, what did you do to beat Purdue today?